Today we're going to modernize the lighting on the front of this 2006 Mustang GT with a set of LED DRL driving lights from Accelatec. Whether you consider them fog lights or driving lights, the factory lights on the 2005-2009 Mustang are on the brighter side, but they have a very old school look to them. These replacement lights from Accelatec are going to upgrade the fogs to an LED, but are also going to add a DRL on top of it. So first we'll show you what the fog light's going to look like. You can see that nice bluish white LED light, way better than a factory light setup. And then in addition to that, now you've got an LED ring, which you can use as a daytime running light. Now the wiring for the Accelatec lights is actually pretty simple. Now this plug here will plug into your factory driving light plug on the car and operate the LEDs. So basically if you don't want to use a DRL option for whatever reason, you can simply plug this in and upgrade to the new LED lighting. Now if you do want to use that DRL option, you have two additional wires here. You get a couple different options on how you wire this. Basically the way this works, the red wire is designed to go to a 12-volt ignition. So whenever the car is on, you're gonna get power to that DRL and they're gonna turn on. The yellow wire will then wire into your headlights. So basically when you turn your headlights on, legally you wanna shut the DRLs off. Now again, this is gonna turn the DRL on every time you start the car. Now in the case of the car that we're working on here, the owner actually doesn't want them on all the time. So what we're gonna do is actually wire the red wire into the parking lights. So basically when he turns his parking lights on, he'll have the option to turn on the DRLs. So the first step in the process is to remove the factory lighting. To do that, we're gonna pop off the radiator cover. Obviously, since we're working with wiring, first thing we're gonna do though, before you even get started, disconnect your battery. We're going to remove these aftermarket covers, give us a little more room, but you still would remove these two bolts. Now we're going to pop off the grill. It's held on by these clips. Basically what you do is kind of push this to the side a little bit. Push it kind of out and the clip will pop off. And then unplug the factory lights. All right, now we're going to remove these screws, remove our factory fog lights. Now grab your light. They will be side specific, so if the bracket sits way too high, you just have it on the wrong side. Reinstall the factory hardware. You notice you have another screw right here. Basically, this is the adjustment for the angle of the light. So if you want to angle it up or down, this is where you make this adjustment. And it's on top so you can actually do it while it's on the car. Now we're going to connect the DRL modules. Basically, just going to plug the gray plug in each side here. And the other end of these modules, you've got two harnesses. These will plug into your factory fog light plugs, again, allowing them to work just like your normal fog lights. And the other end of this harness, you've got your red and your yellow wire. Again, the red is 12-volt switch, so wherever you want to get power to run the DRL goes to this. And then the yellow, again, if you're wiring this to 12 volts on all the time, the yellow will wire to your headlight to shut it off. Again, with this car, because of the location of the fog lights, plus the owner's preferences, we're not going to connect the yellow wire. We're going to connect the red to the parking lights and get power there. Now, I'll show you on the table how the wiring works. What I'm actually going to do though is disconnect these because I want to fish the wires in from the top so I can hide everything underneath the radiator cover. And again, this connects just like the factory. I'll put the grill back into place. And then don't forget to plug in the gray plugs here. And put the grill back into the clips. With the grill installed, make your wiring connections, reinstall your radiator cover, and your installation's finished. Now you can see the finished product, and like I said, we hook the halos up to the parking lights. There's a couple different ways you can do it, but this way we can actually control turning them on and off. There's our halos. And there's our fog lights. Way brighter, way truer white than the factory light. The fog lights with the Halo DRLs give this Mustang GT a really modern look, and they'll be much better at night as well, especially with the additional fog light power. Now, as far as the installation goes, you got to peel the grill off, so give yourself about an hour to an hour and a half, and be back on the road in no time.